Fox Soul's TGIF is still on hiatus. Ty Cent gets put on the spot in front of Tyler. Then Ashanti speaks out about her engagement while everybody hates Chris prepares for their return. Hey, critics, welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. I'm your host, Patricia Hartley. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. It's Wednesday, Juneteenth, 2024. Hey, critics, it's time to chronicle. Up first, let's tap into some of the top talk shows of the week. On Thursday, Sherry Shepherd, her bestie, Niecy Nash, is going to be stopping by the show on tomorrow. So be sure to check that out. Tamron Hall, you still have time this morning to catch Lil Jon as well as Uncle Luke. And remember, you can catch all those weekday talk shows by just checking your local listings. Happy Juneteenth holiday, everybody. I'm so excited about the fact that Juneteenth is finally a national holiday. And in honor of Juneteenth and, of course, Black Music Month, let's highlight the following 5 music albums. I talked about this as well on the previous show, which was on Monday. The Wiz Broadway cast recording. This is the one with Deborah Cox, 2024. It's available. Black Nativity, it's Gospel on Broadway, 2017, from the 1962 version. It's available. The Color Purple, the music from the original Broadway cast is available. Tina Turner, the musical, is also available. And Dreamgirls, the 1982 with the originals. Okay, it's also available there on Hoopla. And want to give a quick update and correction. From my last show on Monday, June the 17th, I said that you could find information about the Tonys on tonys.com. However, the correction is tonyawards.com. We also talked on our June 9th episode about how Brandy and Monica made an appearance in Ariana Grande's The Boy Is Mine video. Well, the remix, y'all, is on the way, and it's going to be featuring them both, and it drops when? On June the 21st. June the 21st has been a pretty significant date. I think Keke Palmer, her girl group Diva Girl, they're going to release their first single. I was looking for some more information because I'm nosy, Keke, and I wanted to nose around and be snoop a little bit, but I couldn't find nothing, y'all. I don't think y'all have even a channel yet. So now I really know why some of your fans were super surprised by you just dropping a photo saying you got a girl group that's going to be dropping a single on the 21st. I'm still looking forward to it, And speaking of looking forward to all of the things, Ariana Grande's album, if you like her music, she has some things on Hoopla, including her latest album, Eternal Sunshine, that was released this year. Her previous albums, My Everything, Yours Truly, Positions, Thank You Next. That's a funny video. If y'all haven't had a chance to check out that Thank You Next video, be sure to check that out. But I'm so excited for both Brandy and Monica. And that song, The Boy Is Mine, brings up so many memories. So shout out to them. And I keep talking about Hoopla, but let me tell you about our public library announcement. Hoopla is the free digital platform accessible through your local library. Here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced from our local libraries. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. Critics, it's time for critical news that you can use. First up, y'all, I got to tell you a little bit about Juneteenth. Told you on the previous episode. I talked to you a little bit more about it. Again, some people, when you say specifically like Juneteenth, people don't know exactly what day that is. But, it's June the 19th, and it is the National Independence Day and now officially a celebrated American holiday that takes place on June the 19th annually. Now, some call it a Black Independence Day. It was really the day that the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States were essentially free or told or informed. Okay. So in 2021, the House passed the bill to make Juneteenth a national Independence Day. I've been telling y'all, I'm gonna run it into the ground that I'm a Texas girl. And we definitely celebrated Juneteenth in my household. Growing up. I was surprised though to when I moved out of the state of Texas and kind of explored some other opportunities in some other states. I had a chance to just kind of see what the culture was like there, and everybody did not celebrate Juneteenth. Some folks was not even familiar with what it was or how it even essentially came about. And so I'm so glad that the White House did make that a national holiday so that it can be celebrated worldwide and also in terms of unity. That's the hope, right? It's always the hope. Speaking of hope, I just want to give a shout out to Black China. She's celebrating on her Instagram, not only counting down the days to the BET Awards, but also celebrating her sobriety. She also showcases her workouts in the process. I don't have the days here in front of me because I did this story maybe a day or two ago, but in terms of how many days, I think she's about a year and a half or so into her sobriety journey. So shout out to China for that. She also just closed on a brand new location for a store. It's next to her new salon. It's called Hearts Pier, and that's over in, I believe, Encino, California. I'm just giving her some positive vibes. Black China, keep going, girl. Keep going. Don't stop. We see the transformation. And as long as it was working out for you and it's creating nothing but positive steps in your life, you go, girl. And speaking of you go, girl, listen, y'all. I don't know if you had a chance to check it out, but Northwest put Kai Cent on blast. If you don't know who Kai Cent is, he is an American online streamer and YouTuber. Lots of streamers. He is very known in the YouTube in the streaming space on like another level. Definitely one of those folks, if you haven't had a chance to check him out, I think it's just worth checking out just at least one time. Okay. Well, y'all, he gets put on blast by Northwest. Of course, we know that Northwest is the daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. So North and Kai, they did an interview together in celebration, of course, of North's 11th birthday. I guess they was having like a little party bus or something, her and her friends. Shout out to the party buses at 11 years old. Okay. Well, Northie and her friends were basically interviewing with him, and he ended up calling Tyler, the South African artist that we talked about in the previous episode. In terms, excuse me, it may have been a couple of episodes ago where we actually talked about Tyler and the interview she actually did on the Breakfast Club, where her and her publicist or PR person, they basically avoided the question of race, but later on, she then went online and clarified. And the challenge seemed to be that folks kind of get misled by the fact that she calls herself colored. And again, it's a cultural thing where she's from. They just say that. But I said all of that to to let you know that I did a previous story on the artist, but also the fact that she yes wished Northwest a happy birthday, but North knows just like we know that Kai actually likes Tyler. So let me take you back a little bit before Northwest did this interview with Kai. Kai did an interview with Tyler. Tyler's the singer that I just went on a rant about. And he asked her on a date while they were on live. And she basically said, but we friends though. Okay. He then has an interview a little bit later on with comedian Kevin Hart. And he decides that he's going to show Kevin Hart the doggone footage of him asking Tyler on a date. And essentially, Kevin Hart not only seen it, he just started repeating that same phrase about, but we friends though, but we friends though. And it was just this running joke that was honestly hilarious. The remainder of the time that Kevin Hart was on the show with Kai. And on yesterday, or excuse me, when I saw the footage on yesterday, Kai not only did the phone call for Northwest, but Northie said to Tyler, Kai likes you. And Kai then took the phone from her. So, yes, I think we all out here looking like we don't know what's going to happen with the whole Kai and Tyler, but it keeps coming up. And the fact that she answered when you called, come on now. She answered when you called. Ain't nothing wrong with being friends, though. Ain't nothing wrong with being friends, though. Shout out to Kai Cent. He always does a great job, but he's also hilarious in the process. And of course, happy 11th birthday to Northwest. And I wanted to talk about the beautiful Ashanti. Ooh, baby. Gotta talk about Ashanti. She did an interview exclusively with Entertainment Tonight talking about her proposal. Now, when she was asked about what the proposal was like, she said that it was truly a surprise and she was wearing his t-shirt and boxers. So nothing, overly major, it seemed. Even when she told Nelly about the pregnancy, she said she just FaceTimed him. And and the interviewer was like, "You didn't want to wait until like you were in front of him?" She was like, "I couldn't wait." So she basically FaceTimed him and told him that she was expecting. Y'all, her mama is so happy for her. In the middle of the interview, she just kind of burst out into tears and was crying and was emotional. So, shout out to Mama Jur, over there. Another Tina, right? Another Tina, another Tina, another Tina. And although she did not share the sex of the baby, my guess is a boy. Now, my guess is a boy for a couple of reasons. It was because, yes, the blue dress, but it was also because of what she said about the parenting style between her and Nelly. When the interviewer asked her, like, "Hey, who do you think is gonna do, more of the parent, be more of the strict parent?" And she said it was Nelly. And again, assumption only. I'm assuming. I think when you say that your partner, your male partner, is going to be the disciplinarian, you probably have a boy. Because when it's a girl, a lot of the times they say girls take the hearts of their fathers, right? So they don't got time to be disciplining, right? What are they doing? They giving in to the girls. They're giving in to the girls. Again, a little bit of a stereotype, but then also really more of that dynamic. There's nothing like, a daughter and her father, right? And I think sometimes you don't know until you actually know. So those of us who do know, shout out to those folks. And shout out to also those men who have stepped up actually to be fathers in place of fathers who either are absent for reasons that are beyond their control, or is within their control. And I want to talk about the fact that Ashanti does have some albums as well that's available on Hoopla, including The Declaration. That's a 2008 release. Her Chapter 2, I like that album. The 2003, the Ashanti album that she had as well. That was the 2003. It was the Ashanti album. And then she has her Christmas in the City movie that's also available there on Hoopla. So congratulations, Ashanti. I'm so glad that you did an official interview because we've seen that you've been engaged, but I think you coming out to publicly like say it on like another level in a formal interview, that gives us a little bit more information, girl, because you be holding tight to the info sometimes. To the info sometimes. We know you private, but you also know we nosy. Come on now, release a little bit more. And speaking of releasing, I want to talk a little bit about Everybody Hates Chris because the reboot is coming soon. They're going to be getting an animated reboot, and Chris Rock himself is set to be the executive producer. Now, Tashina Arnold played the hell out of the role as Rochelle. My man got 2 jobs, okay? And outside of y'all, the original Aunt Viv on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I love the role of Rochelle. Like in terms of seeing myself in some of those roles, like, oh yeah, both of those roles. Well, we all know that Everybody Hates Chris has now become a classic. And the animated series that, am I wrong to say, wasn't this announced back in like right after what happened at the Oscars? Like a few months later, it was announced that something was supposed to happen. I thought with Everybody Hates Chris. I could be wrong about that. But nevertheless, it's a classic now. And in terms of the animated series, it's going to focus on the younger characters since the kids are now all adults. So Tim Johnson Jr. is going to play young Chris. Ozima Akaga will voice Tanya, and then Terrence Little Garden High is gonna voice Drew. Says Variety.com, and we are glad to have it. Congratulations again, Chris Rock. And then, side note, have y'all seen the Good Time series on Netflix? I tried. I tried. I'm gonna try again because I was trying to multitask at the same time instead of just trying to focus on watching it. I don't do great with just like watching shows sometimes. I'm okay with movies, but like watching shows. But I wanted to check it out because over on KBLA, Robin Ayers, she has the Raw Report, I think is what it's called, the Raw Report, and she did an interview with one of the writers for the show. And so just kind of tapping into the fact that some of the characters are definitely not the same. So it's definitely a little bit different. So for folks who have nostalgia for Good Times, like the original show or the original series, it's definitely not the same thing. So yes, it's a little bit of that surprise, but I think if you can get past that, you can give a true sort of an insight of what you really think about the series. So yeah, again, shout out to Chris Rock, and also shout out to Tashina Arnold, all of the actors over there with Everybody Hates Chris, and all of the new folks who are going to be coming in to be doing the animated reboot. And speaking of rebooting, Beverly Hills Cop Eddie Murphy is back, baby, or as folks call him, Axel F. He's going to be reprising that role anyway. It's set to release, I believe it's July the 3rd. The original movie actually came out back in 1984, y'all. That's a while ago. It came in 1984, and he's making his rounds talking about it. It's been so many years since I've actually seen the original movie, so I can't overly talk actually right now about it. But I do plan to watch it when it comes out in July. Yeah, I will say this. You know what I liked about Beverly Hills Cop? It kind of gave me insight to what California looked like, Hollywood looked like, sort of that area, right? Beverly Hills. Also the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I think it also did that same thing. Moesha, remember Moesha was also filmed in Cali. I think it was one of the colleges out there, Santa Monica. I think they mentioned that college a lot on the show. And so one thing though that Eddie Murphy say he don't want to be doing anymore is any stunts. And so y'all check out Eddie Murphy as he makes his rounds, specifically talking about Beverly Hills Cop. And let's talk a little bit about what's going on over at Fox Soul in terms of an update. This will not be the last update, but I told y'all I was going to be watching on Monday to see if Fox Soul came on. It did not. Apparently they may be out on something called a scheduled vacation that may have happened anyway, in spite of the fact that that show on Thursday was pulled from the YouTube channel. Alrighty. So they haven't even done any reruns. Not only that, y'all, but if you notice, the Fox Soul, when you go to their YouTube channel, they typically have like a thumbnail, and that thumbnail will say like all of the shows that are happening. It'll basically give the lineup, and Fox TGIF will has always, as long as they've been in there. This time though, they're no longer showing up there, y'all. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Feel free to drop it down in the comments, but I don't see TGIF showing up at all anymore. Now, and don't they typically play reruns when the show is out for vacation? Am I tripping? Is it me? Okay, I'm just saying, if Fox Soul, if you want there to be like a little bit of like not too much talk about it, and thinking, more of like, hey, we're together, pretend whatever. I don't know, if you do get, at least give some reruns. Am I tripping? Maybe they don't do reruns because it's YouTube. I don't know. Lastly, also, we the last I heard, actually, Al messed up the show. That's not my words. I think those were Claudia words. Armand then said, in his words, his roast did not mess up the show, which I don't think folks really thought his roast messed up the show. I think folks just think it didn't help the show, and that Al wasn't as positive about it as he claimed he was at the end when he made that statement. The show is also on vacation, as I said before, and yeah, if y'all ain't back by the BET Awards on the 30th of June, I'm gonna be. Hopefully, y'all come back out and say more. Side note, just to let y'all know, yesterday Funky Dineva called Al on his live, and Al sounded so sad to me. Al did answer the phone, but he sounded so sad to me. And I don't know if that's going to be a part of his shows now, where Funky Dineva actually calls people like in the show. Folks love it though, Funky. So I mean, look, as long as your audience love it, I say keep it up. Can you keep up, 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 up? But it is believed that Al is intentionally not responding to either folks over at Foxhole or Claudia, for them to try to work it out. But either way, we're still watching. And when it comes to, well, a lot of people watching The Mess, even if they don't watch the show, they definitely now, they definitely watching The Mess. So if y'all can work this out though, if y'all can work this out, I don't know if it will happen, but if y'all can work this out, it might be a good example of what other folks can follow. I'm just saying. Don't talk. That's why y'all don't roast and don't talk behind each other's back. All of the things. All righty. So, speaking of the things, y'all, the American Black Film Festival took place on sunny South Beach, and the event remains the preeminent event of its kind. As boasted by the website, it brings together enthusiasts of Black culture alongside industry executives and content creators across the globe for an event filled with screenings, talk events, exclusive parties, and networking. Some of the winners at the event of the night included Best Series for Unsolicited, written by Barshia Lowry, Asia Moore, and Shastier Martin. HBO Short Film Award Showcase winner was Chocolate with Sprinkles. Best Narrative Feature went to Peripheral, directed by Suleiman Tahir. And the ABFF is a qualifying festival for the Academy Awards. Also, I forgot to say this one. Best Director went to Coke Daniels for The Water Boys. And more about the festival can be found at abff.com. As I said before, I wanted to come to y'all today because it's a holiday. It's Juneteenth, and I hope that it's Juneteenth, and I hope that y'all are enjoying your Juneteenth and doing something you want to do, whatever that might be. If you missed this past Monday's episode, you can still listen. On Monday, we discussed some of the top Tony Awards. Black Information Network actually has a great article about the Tony highlights of the night. And I recap as well on some of the biggest winners of the night, as well as Charles Barkley retiring in 2025, what that means. And then when it comes to Angel Reese and then Caitlin Clark, we know that they teamed up. And then we had something called a flagrant foul. Y'all, I had to actually look that up because I mean, I know about a little bit of some fouls, like, yeah, but I didn't know what a flagrant foul was. If you want to know, you can probably look it up at this point, or you can just go back and listen to the show where I give you a blow by blow. Be sure to check out the description box below or review our channel for more critical news that you can use. Thanks for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel, where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.